All right, guys. Good day and happy to see you. Welcome to my channel. This is Moses Lawrence, and I'm glad to share part of my little experience I've gathered over the years. So today I'm going to be taking CAD R.C detailing, as every lot of engineers and detailers have been asking me to do a video for this and other softwares and other packages. So let me start with CAD R.C. CAD R.C, it's a software that helps you to detail concrete detailing. It helps you for your steel detailing also. And the good thing about it is that it you can generate your bending schedule, or generate your bending schedule, and so it's reduce you the stress of having to calculate bending schedules manually, having to doing an AutoCAD kind of detailing. So so that's it. So where we are. So I'm sharing my screen now, and we move from there. Now I have these little panels I've actually designed just for this training. So if you maybe you're in need or you don't have this particular software and you wish to have it, you can contact me and send a link or chat me up so I can help with the software if you actually need it, and we discuss further. So in this class, I'm going to going to take for today's class, we're going to be detailing um, the slab panel, and I'm going to explain some of the icons and tools required for concrete aspect of CAD R.C software. So the first thing you do as when you start, when you start or you want to detail your slabs or beams or any of the information using CAD R.C, the first thing you do is that you come to drawing setup and you create a skill for yourself. The first thing is that you create a paper space, which is the normal thing. Just it's not necessarily mean that you have to use a paper space, but just to help you work. So you create a paper space, you create your scale, and you select the scale for yourself. So I select 1:50, then I say okay to that. Then it will bring an icon where you can input your informations, client information, architect information, project information, and so on and so forth. So in the site description, this is where you can say, okay, this particular information is for ground floor slabs. So here you can see, let's see overview. Then click on next. So next is where you can put the name of the person. So I say Moses Lawrence L. You put the person checking, so automatically there you see okay. Then you create a drawing number for it. So I create number 12 for that particular. So that this is the information we just provided. But it's not necessary for your job, but it's something you have to do first. Creating a skill for your drawing. Okay, I already have a skill already on it. So, but because I was doing it, I'm trying to, so I take it off my page. Now, the next thing is to explain different icons and where they are used and what they are used for. Um, so these are the basic soft template, or I call it icons required for detailing. Where you see the word new mark here, they are used when you are detailing beams, or you want to provide a reinforcement where you specify number of that reinforcement yourself. So that's when you use this the new mark. And the other one says range new mark. Range new mark, you use it when you are detailing slabs because you are moving from a point to another point. Um, you be the one to provide the numbers, you require spacing between a point to the other point. So for instance, if I have a bar spanning from point one to point two, I'm going to put a distance. Okay, I want to space my bars in between 250, 200. So use the word range. So you can also use the word range anywhere you want to range information where the information is actually from a point to another point. Now, on AutoCAD, as a person, you always hear the word stretch. You always get the word stretch. If you're good using AutoCAD, you'll be familiar with word stretch. But on CAD R.C, there's no trim. You use the stretch to either reduce or increase. And the modify tab, it's where you want to modify some other informations, which is maybe client information uh, based on this particular drawing, which is what we've done earlier, or you want to add more information. So, and your annotation information where you want to call out, you want to label your bars, and you want to give reference number to your bars, which are your reinforcement. So let's be fast and let's move on. Please do me well to subscribe, and it will encourage me and go a long way, and to encourage me and go a long way to continue this new phase of adding value to people. Thank you. So we're here. So I said we want to range. So I'm going to range. So for instance, I'm going to click on range. Then the next thing I click on single fix pitch range. When I click on it, I'll select my type of bar, which is so um, I have different codes. If you are familiar with the different codes and different bar shapes, so I'll select the type of bar depending on what I want to do. So I'll select my bars. So I'm going to be using this bar because I have one edge discontinuous and the other edge continuous, and I have a return which I'm going to return my reinforcement. So now this is where I choose a grid of steel that I want to use. So if I'm using, if it's based on your desire, you can use T, you can use R based on what you desire. The bar size, you can select your bar size here. Now your bar mark is automatically numbered by the software itself. So since it's my first bar inside this job, that's why I'm having the bar marks to be 0 or 01. Then I have where I can put a note. So if I'm doing a ground floor slab and it's a suspended floor slab, so I expect that everyone watching this should be a detailer or should be an engineer. So depending on the floor you're doing. So if I'm doing a first floor, if I'm doing a first floor slab or any suspended slab, my mean reinforcement it should be bottom bar, except if it's a cantilever reinforcement that you can make it top. Why support bars, my support bars also be a top bar. So well, yeah. So the next thing you see edit, go to first bar. Now first bar is that you put an information, a relative information to your length of A and length of B and C. So I just assume that the length of my A bar is the length of A. Looking at your shape code is so it works in mm. So it's 4,500. Now your B is a standard if you are not good in detailing already. Is the B is your slab thickness minus cover of both directions, both the top of the slab and the bottom of the slab. So if for instance, if this slab is about 150 thick, I'll take off 25, 25. Remember, I'm doing it suspended. So if you're doing a kind of ground floor which is rafts, sitting on a raft because it's more exposed to moisture, not necessarily water, um, not necessarily water, moisture. You are advised to use a cover of 50 to or 45 minimum. So that's it. And you understand. So I don't explain the essence of cover. It's very important, very important. So now from the law I just mentioned that if my slab thickness is 150, I'll say this guy will be 100. So I've taken off 25, 25. Then I'll also assume that okay, my return here is 400 or 500. Now your return is 0.25 of your span. So which of your span? That's the standard code. Your return is always 0.25 of your span. So 0.25 times your span. So, but for that right now, I'm not doing that. I'm just taking us through the process. So I assume this bar should be a bottom bar. Then I click here. And the next thing I do, I draw the bar in the direction I want it to go. So that's the direction I want the bar to go. Then remember, I'm spanning that particular bar in this range. I'm spanning from this point to this point. So what I do is that I right click, then I click on this point. Now, if you see at the bottom of my screen, there's a point that says first offset first bar from start point. Because I've worked on this particular drawing before, automatically it has given me my cover, so which is 25. So if you are using a new this thing, is going to write a 0 there. So 25 is good. So what I do, I say enter, and I'll take it to the next point, which is the end. Because remember, when you're arranging from a distance to the other distance. Then I click on the next line, which is my end point. Then I press enter. Then I press enter. Now in this point, this way you are required to look at the down left of my screen. This is where you are required to put your spacing. So I say I'm using 200 spacing for my bar, depending on my design. Then I say enter, then I enter, then now in this case, if for instance, this particular bar, I want it to span up to other panels, using this same bar to go to other panels. When I come to the word finish, instead of me pressing enter, I'll press the next point. So I'll press the next start point. So it will start from there and to continue. But we're going to talk about that in maybe the other panel. So for now, I'll just say enter again. Then I'll say enter. Then I will click somewhere here. Then that's that bar now. So I'll move. So now this other icons, which is called leader. So your leader option 1, it's when you want to give direction to a particular bar. So I click on here and I draw my arrow just to represent that this bar, this information is meant for this. So that's it. So now, we actually assume the distance of our bar. So what you do is that it's something you should have done, but we're just learning this. So I take it to the end, then I do my offsets, I move it backward by, as I'm doing move, I move it backward by 25. Now this other part, I'm always doing this. I take it to the end of the beam, then I just overlap it with the other bar by maybe 300, depending on what you want. So that's what I have. Now remember this point the return should be 0.25 of this panel, of this span. So from here to here, this is span for one support. That's, so I don't need to explain that. So now I want to, let's learn how to stretch. So for instance, if I offset my bar or the 0.5 of the span and it's somewhere here, what I'll do if I want to stretch this bar to get to this point, I don't necessarily mean to dimension this point and go and use something you can dimension. So I can come to my dimension, dimension the length myself. So I click, I'll click on the drawing, I'll go back to my first point, then I'll put 572, which is what's with dimension. I'll check that. 573. 573. 723, and I say okay, then I'll say okay, then automatically it moves itself. Now why it is not getting to this point is because I supposed to add the difference, which is from this point to this point, which is half of your beam width. So now go back to CAD R.C. Now the essence of stretch is that when I click on my stretch, I right click, I click on the point, then I click on this point, I take it to where I want it to be. So that's for stretch. So it means in this case I've increased. So if I want to reduce, the same thing, I click on stretch, then I right click, I click on the bar, then I move to the position I want it to be. So I think we are fine. So that's that for that. Now for the other panel where, so I was trying to explain something the other time. If I'm ranging, using a particular bar to range on different panels. So what I do is I come to this guy, I say the same thing. Then it's a bottom bar. Assume that the length of the bar is 4.5, and this is constant. This is not constant, it is depending on the slab thickness. And I say okay, then I draw to a particular direction of where I want to span my reinforcement. Then I range, so I'm ranging from, I click on my first point, I say okay, I pick on the next end point, I'll say okay, then I put my spacing 200, I'll say okay, The next, when I get to the finish, which is what I was saying, the next is a pick or enter start point. It means I want to start another point. So I'll click on this, then I'll say enter, I'll click on this, I'll say enter, I'll say enter. If I want to go to the next panel also using the same bar, I'll come here, I'll still click on here, then I'll go to the end, I'll click. That's, I'm saying enter. So then I'll drop my bar. Remember, so it means between this panel to this panel, I have this reinforcement 17 times. Between this panel, from this bar within this panel is going to be 11 number. This same bar within this panel is going to be 18 number. So that's the essence of what I was trying to explain earlier. So I move, then I come here, I put my mark, then I move this guy. So you adjust based on, then that's that. So come to my stretch again, I right click and I move down, depending on what you want. Everybody lap length is different. So that's that for this panel. So now the beauty of this CAD R.C is that I don't necessarily need to start drawing each of it also. Like, so in this case now, I can mirror. So I'll say I can mirror this information to the other side because it has the same. So I'll mirror. When I mirror it, now in this case, anytime when you want to mirror or you want to copy an information, anytime you say you copy and you see copy view bar, and you click on copy view bar, it means you are repeating that same bar, repeating the same bar you've copied, and this program will see the bar as one. But when you're copying a bar or you are mirroring a bar, you want it to be a separate bar. Copy or mirror, if you want it to be a separate bar, you use bar sets. Likewise, if you are deleting, you use bar sets. not bar mirror. So because if you use bar view, sorry, if you use bar view to copy and use bar view to delete, that's information. If you use bar view to delete your bar, it means that bar is still recorded inside the program. So it means you'll be having multiple bars inside your program. So you must be very careful. You must be very, very careful. And when you are mirroring, so right now I just mirrored. So I want to use the word bar view for better explanation. So when I say bar view, watch what the difference is going to be. Now, number one is that this bar, okay, then I want to explain difference. Now check, I mirror this information back here. Anything I do on this other bar, on the new bar I just mirrored, and I move, is automatically working with the other original one. So that's why you're advised not to use what bar view. It means it's the same property and it's the same information. So if I go back and I move it furthermore, it's also, do you understand that? So I think that's quite clear. Now, on the delete parts, which I earlier said, remember this bar, they are the same bar. Now, if I use the word bar view or delete bar view, it's going to only delete that particular bar. This particular bar that I've one of the bar. But if I use bar view, it's going to only delete that one. So remaining the original. But if I undo and I say, oh, delete this bar, and I pick the word bar sets, it's going to delete both the original and the other duplicates. Duplicate one. So I say undo and I undo because I don't want this bar. Now, so let me go back to my mirror now. So I'm mirroring. I remember in this case now, I want to have different bars. So I go to mirror and I say bar sets at this point. When I say bar sets, I go to my stretch, I right click on the bar, then I move to the direction I want to move it to. Then you see it's not affecting this other one, and it's also giving it its own label number separately. Okay, fine. So that's that. And I see so we're good. So you can all this AutoCAD work where you for presentation sake you can edit and move information you want to move. Now in this other one, so I'm doing copy now. So I'll copy this bar here. So the good thing is that I don't need to start drawing everything one after the other. So in this point now I've copied. Remember when I copied, I did bar sets. When I copy this bar, so it's a different bar now. So right now I want to change the bar to a straight bar. So what I do is that I click on the bar and I just pick the next bar code and shape. Then automatically it will change. Then I say yes. So it is a change. Then I can edit this guy to this point, and I edit this guy to this point. Now, the beauty or the flexible way it has helped me is that I don't necessarily need to draw this bar and start ranging again from this point to this point. So that's it for slab reinforcement. Remember, so I've reinforced my main bars. So likewise, if I want to do my support bars, my distribution bars, my nominal bar, which we can refer to distribution bar, that's I also use the same process. So now remember when you're doing your distribution bars or nominal bars, you use the same process. In this case, so it's going to be a top bar. So for most engineers, they use the Y12 distribution bars. My years of experience, I understand that your distribution bars are just a support bar, just to hold down, so it's not doing a major job. So whether your design is saying anything, my main bar is very important to me. not my support bar, not my distribution bar, sorry. My main bar and my support bar is very important to me, but my distribution bar, which is a nominal bar, I can use Y10. So I always use Y10. I use a lesser reinforcement. So I use Y10 no matter what. So in this case now, remember, I'll just draw. Now this bar is supposed to be, so I draw and I span it. I say I span from here, and it's going to be also, it's going to start from this point to the 0.25, this other span of the 3825. Then I drop, I'll click OK, I'll click OK. I always use 250 for my nominal reinforcement. Then I click enter, because I'm also going to use it at this point somewhere here, which is going to support, which is going to be as a support to my support bar. So I also use it here. So then I also click, then that's that bar. Now, so I draw this, and then yeah, that's that. So all these adjustments, you can move your bars by using normal move of CAD and arrange your information to suit what you want. That's presentation work. Likewise this. Now, for instance, you have this ball. Remember, this ball is used for to give you a guideline of what particular bar is being referenced. It's been referenced. So, for instance, if you have some of your detail and you can't find this bar, the ball, or it's been deleted mistakenly. So, for instance, I've deleted that. Okay, sorry, it's not there. Okay, for instance, I don't have that ball, so let me take it off. For instance, I have something like this. Or most times it happens when your scale is very small and you can't find, you can barely see it. What you do is that you come here, okay, you come here, you click on this point and you click on points and just give it a ball. You've seen that. Now, if I want to give a reference bar mark for this bar, I'll come here, I'll click on bar reference, I'll click on it, it will give me the bar number. So most times we use this when we are doing when I'm reference. So in this case now, okay, what happened here, you know, when I copy this information, you can see that the bar mark reference is not there itself. So you use this to bring out the existing bar mark reference. So I click on that, then I click on the bar, which will bring out, then I click anywhere, then I drop, I can repeat as it pleases me, then I do a move. So that is that. Then, so let's be fast. And so I want to do the decision bar of the other panel direction. So I come and I see, I'm assuming this point to be my 0.25. 0.25, then I see this guy span from here and stops somewhere here. And I see, oh, this guy is going to be somewhere here. Then I go to the end. I start again. Then this panel. This point. Then this point. Then this point. Then this point. This point. Then I say, okay. So that is, so I can also do this to go. Now, there's something, you know, when I move this bar, I move this ball, I move it somewhere just to explain what is happening here, how to bring the ball out for yourself. Now, if I mistakenly delete this bar and I say See, I've deleted my this thing, so you have to be very careful that your card information are not just flying aimlessly. That's the word. So the next one I do, so I'm trying to rush over. Then I copy this. Remember, copy. I want to make it a different bar, so I'll use copy sets. I want to use this guy as a different bar. Use copies. Just because I've selected a copy set, automatically it has seen that. So I stretch this to give me a different number for this. I stretch. Remember, all these returns, it depends on the span calculation which you've actually have calculated. I believe you should have done yourself. So that's that. This. So move this guy down. Then the next thing I want to do, I want to create my support bar. Then create my support bar. Jesus, you guys see? Well, then,